Hey folks, Real Honesty with John Ritlin. I'm John Ritlin. This is Rapid Fire episode 38, where I'm going to talk about a few subjects. But first, I'm going to get a little political, a little bit of a rant. Not going to be too long of a rant, because honestly, it's gotten to the point where it's just ridiculous. So I actually might mix some humor in, but still, if you guys do not want to hear me rant about anything political, I will go like this when I am done. Okay? Then I will get on to the subjects I have. So again, like this. 3, 2, 1. Donald Trump is a goddamn idiot. An idiot. He's an absolute idiot, tossing paper towels out to the people of Puerto Rico. I mean, what the hell? Did he think that the Bounty commercial actually was legit and that throwing out paper towels like Bounty would soak up the water? Or is he just that tone deaf? It's probably a combination of both. He probably believes a lot of stuff he saw on TV. Honestly, the guy needs to just swallow his damn ego. Not like he wants his daughter to swallow his ego. And help the people of Puerto Rico. I know aid and stuff has been approved, or at least will be approved at some point, but it's taken way too long. Yes, there is stuff going on in Puerto Rico, like the truck drivers being on strike, and various other things. And I'm not saying, as much as I despise Trump, there is stuff going on in Puerto Rico that we do not know about because we are not there. We only hear it through the media. But Trump is not handling this well. He's not handling the whole thing in Las Vegas very well. He's just not. Because he won't call the shooter. And that's all I'm not going to refer to the guy by name. Because he doesn't deserve it. And his family deserves to be shamed. Because I'm sorry, I think his family knew. And his girlfriend knew. But the shooter, he will not call the shooter a domestic terrorist. Why? Because he's a white guy. Oh, he's a lone wolf. People are saying it's not just Trump. It's a ton of people. Oh, he's a lone wolf. Bull. 500 plus people injured. I actually think the number went down to 479. But still, like last time I heard, it was 479 to 500 people. 317 of them have been discharged from the hospital. And it's up to 58, 59 people dead. Regardless, it wouldn't matter if it was one person or 500. One person, 3, 500, whatever. The guy's a domestic terrorist. That's what he is. And people need to call him that. You won't call him that because he's white. But when the Pulse Club shooting happened in Orlando, as terrible as that was, and it's still very terrible. And my heart goes out to everybody that was affected by it. My heart goes out to everybody that was affected by the Las Vegas shooting. People that were not shot but were rescuing, people that were shot but not killed, people that were killed and families have to carry on knowing that their loved ones are gone. My heart goes out to them, honestly, because it's a terrible thing. But I don't want to hear people say anything other than domestic terrorists. Now, there are a lot of people that have been saying it. Oh, we don't know his religious motives. We don't know this. Okay. How quick was everybody willing to call the Pulse Club shooter a domestic terrorist before we even knew what his motives were? Remember? Once we saw the guy's race, oh, terrorist. Why? Because he was brown. Quick to call black people that shoot people thugs. You know, whether they shoot other black people, whether they shoot white people, whether they shoot cops. Thugs. White guy shoots up a bunch of people in Vegas. Lone wolf. You know, mentally ill. That's what I got to say about that. So again, my heart goes out to everybody in Vegas. Trump needs to just shut up about the fake news and do his goddamn job. I'm not saying that being president is an easy job. It would never be an easy job. That's why very few could do it. That's why you see a lot of people at two-term presidents. You see them how they were at the beginning of their first term, even the beginning of their second term, and then you see them by the end of their second term, and they're aged beyond words. It's a tough job being the leader of the free world. Trump is not up to the task. And he's proving that time and time again. Because he still tweets like a celebrity instead of tweeting like the leader of the free world. And I do not want to see anything in the U.S. slide into ruin. And Trump is not helping with that at all. He doesn't respect the human beings in the U.S. except the rich people. He does not respect any of us. And it's very obvious, and I just find it disgusting that people still support the guy, despite the fact that he has done nothing to prove that he's worth respecting. He isn't worth respecting. But, again, just handle the thing in Puerto Rico better. Don't toss paper towels out. I'm not saying that's all he did. I'm not saying he didn't shake hands with some of the citizens. I'm not saying some of that stuff didn't happen. But a lot of that stuff's pretty damn tone deaf. And the stuff about Vegas is tone deaf. He needs to stop being tone deaf and actually be a human being. I know that's difficult for him, but he needs to stop being what he is and start being a human being. Because we're already laughing enough at him. Anyway, okay, folks. Ow, I hit my own chin when I did that. I am done with the political rant. Now we will get on to various things that are going on. Cam Newton, quarterback of the Carolina Panthers, Cam Newton, and Super Bowl, runner-up, because you're a clown and didn't dive for the ball and decided not to play. To be fair, I did do a rant on Super Bowl 50. It was one of my original rants. If you don't mind hearing me when I was sick, cut a rant. I did say how the game may have been fixed. But that being said, Cam Newton really looked like just a slug out there. But he said, and to be fair, this could have been a joke that he said to a female reporter, but apparently it wasn't. You'll have to see the clip. If you type Cam Newton in the search, even if it's on Google or on Twitter, you'll find something. But it's during a press conference, and this female reporter, I didn't catch her name, I apologize. And I don't know if they have a rapport with each other. I don't know. But he said, the girl talked about various routes and, routes that were being run and stuff like that. Quarterback routes and various plays and stuff like that. She knew her stuff. That's basically from the way it sounded. I mean, I didn't catch quite everything because the audio wasn't the greatest for her, but she seemed to understand what she was talking about. Cam Newton says, "It's funny to hear a female talk about routes like that. ... It's funny." Now, I thought, okay, at the least it's tone deaf, at the worst it's sexist because of that. And I can't imagine any woman would dress Cam Newton because it doesn't look like anybody but a blind person has dressed him, or maybe himself, and maybe he's blind, has dressed him in the past few years because he looks ridiculous. So obviously a woman didn't dress you, Cam. Now, that being said, it could have been tone deaf. That was until I saw some people post something. And it's a definition of the word route, which is apparently street slang. Obviously, I am not familiar with street slang. As you can tell, I am fully white. Very white, in fact. In fact, I probably should tread lightly, considering I have a shaved head talking about a black athlete. But I guarantee you, I joke about everything, but I am not racist. Used to be, but I'm not racist anymore. I changed my life. Apparently, route is slang for a woman who's a hoe. It's like, let's see, and this is a definition, so forgive me, but it says, "Yo, I'm about to go over this route's house so I could hit." God, I'm white. I can't even read that right. But let me just say this now, because he had a smirk on his face, if that is what he meant, and I emphasize if, because as of now, and I'm recording this Thursday, October 5th, if that's what he meant, oh, Cam, you really shouldn't say that. Oh, it's locker room talk. It's this kind of stuff or whatever. Look, guys talk with each other a lot. Sure, we might joke around as guys would. I've never joked with guys like that. I mean, obviously, I've never been in an NFL locker room. Never been in a football locker room. But that's just, if that's what he meant, that's really, really tone deaf. And yeah, he should have to issue a massive apology. And now I'm even more glad he didn't win the Super Bowl. Because maybe that kind of stuff, and maybe he'll get hit more, being the QB that he is. And then he can whine more like a little bitch about getting hit. Because that's what he's been doing. It's funny for a guy that wants to talk down about women, when some women are legit tougher and can actually take more hits than that. I mean, now look, I'm not saying that a woman could take every single hit that Cam Newton's taken. But for a guy that gets outside the pocket and then gets hit, or for a guy that just gets hit in general, then complains, well, it ain't ballet, Cam. You're getting paid a lot of goddamn money to take a lot of hits. You don't want it, then get out of the goddamn sport. So Cam Newton really looked like a real fuck up. I mean, a really big fuck up. And I want to talk briefly about the NFL. So actually, I'm going to do another thing where I'm going to do like this if you don't want to hear about the NFL protests. I did talk about them before. But here we go. And now I'm going to talk about them. Okay. 3, 2, 1. The NFL protests, people have their right to not like them if they don't want. That's fine. I'm not saying to people, as much as they have a right to protest, the NFL players have a right to protest, if they feel police violence and violence against black people and other minorities, other races, I'll just say, because it's really not to the point where it's minorities anymore. Other races other than white, if they feel they are being oppressed, targeted, whatever, if they're tired of racial insensitivity, basically been tired of people being insensitive towards other races. I get that. And I do. I'm not saying I fully agree with the NFL protests. I would stand during the anthem. But, and I'm not saying I agree with Kaepernick, because he has put his money where his mouth is on some occasions, but he has made a lot of questionable decisions, and some of his attire he's chosen to wear. That's not exactly the best thing. But, and there was one tweet in particular is by Donald J. Trump Jr., if only the NFL cared as much about our national anthem as it cared about domestic violence and, God, let's see. It was however he worded. He compared the national anthem protest to domestic violence and concussions. Coming from a guy whose father clearly has suffered a lot of concussions. I mean, I'm sorry. This is absolutely ridiculous that he would compare that kind of stuff. It's like, I'm actually kind of wondering if I'll ever get blocked by any of them, because I tend to say my honest opinion to any of the Trump family, not any of the children, because I don't think they're on Twitter. But this is just, it's unbelievably tone deaf. Saying that kind of stuff. Look, you cannot like the anthem protests all you want, but it's the ones that burn their jerseys and tickets and stuff like that. That's just fucking stupid. I mean, that's just stupid because they got your money already. They're good. A lot of these athletes have their money. All you guys are doing is being bitter. And it's funny. Now, there are some that burned them that were white people that served in the military. People that want to serve in the military, that want to be upset, I understand. But I'm sorry, if you're a regular Joe, really, like, some of them are coming across as bitter white racists. Some, not all, because there are some that present reasonable points as to why they're upset. But I bet if you polled everybody that was burning their stuff, 90% of them, at least, would be Trump supporters. Now, maybe not. But I'm just really, really sick of the NFL protests being lashed out against this much. Guys, they have a right to protest. You don't have to like it. Don't watch the games if you have that much of a problem with it. Just don't call them entitled and say the celebrity shouldn't get political when you voted a goddamn celebrity into the White House. You fucking stupid idiots. And I'm just saying, anybody, you guys, there are a few people that I talked to that did vote for Trump that are cool people. Some that did vote for Trump that don't want to let it go, that I have a different opinion. I had to get rid of them. I've actually lost 10 friends since this election. I've lost 10. It's up to about 20 that I've lost since this whole thing really happened where Trump announced his presidency and got to the point where, oh crap, it's not a joke anymore. This dumb fuck thinks that he can run the country. So anyway, that's my thoughts on the NFL protests. Like, just guys, don't watch the games if you don't want to. But don't call them entitled babies and entitled celebrities and say celebrities shouldn't speak up when you vote a goddamn celebrity into the White House. And one of the worst celebrities. We would almost be better off with just about anybody. So don't give me that shit. Okay. Now back to the wrestling news. Thank you, folks, for putting up with this. One quick sports mention. The Minnesota Lynx win the WNBA title. I'm going to be honest, I didn't have a clue the WNBA playoffs are still going on. Good for them. WWE is bringing back War Games for NXT Houston. NXT TakeOver Houston. The Undisputed Era, which is Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and Adam Cole, versus the Authors of Pain and Roderick Strong. I think Roderick Strong is going to join the Undisputed Era, which I think is probably better because his face run hasn't gone all that well. And then versus Sanity. So it's a 3-team War Games. I am for this. It's going to be better than the 3-team War Games that happened at Fall Brawl 1998, in part because Warrior, the hack that he is not involved. And Hogan's not involved. Stevie Ray was in the 98 War Games. He did okay. Or did decent. I mean, so did Brett and so did DDP. Others less so. But anyway, those 3 guys stood out. I'm thrilled about War Games coming back. I love it. I think it's a great idea. I think it's been long overdue. I think that, honestly, this is what's been needed. And apparently Triple H contacted Cody. Not that they need Cody's approval for everything. Even though Cody should be allowed to have that last name because he's Cody Rhodes. He's Dusty Rhodes' son. And it's stupid that they don't let him have that last name. And by they, I mean Vince. Because Vince is a little bitter. A little bitter that somebody didn't want to deal with, having a stupid-ass gimmick like Stardust. But I'm thrilled. And I'm calling it right now. I think Roderick Strong joins the Undisputed Era. Which I'm fine with. I think a heel turn will make Roderick Strong a lot better. I think his offense is better suited as a heel. Messiah the Backbreaker. It's not that Roderick Strong isn't likable. He's very likable. But I think a heel turn would be perfect. It would be the perfect way to do it. Unless they want to bring in another person. If they want to involve the women at War Games. I mean, Nikki Cross is going to be involved. Sorry, by the way, spoilers. Should have probably put that before. I guess Nikki Cross is going to be involved in the 4-way women's match for the women's title, so she won't be part of the War Games, which I actually think is a shame, because I think it would have been perfect to have Nikki Cross and then a woman, and I think it's Taya. No, not Taya. God, I don't remember. Tanya Conte, I think, or something like that. I don't remember her name. I don't remember her name exactly, but she was in the Mae Young Classic and did very well. The name's escaping me. She's part of the Undisputed Era, I guess. And then they could have another woman. They could have a woman join Authors of Pain and Roderick Strong. I think that'd be kind of nice. But if they just want to have it 3-on-3, that's okay. I don't know if Blood will return here. I think it'd be appropriate if it did, because it's on the network, and yeah, they have their sponsors, but NXT is a little grittier. So this is exciting. War Games coming back. I mean, I can't tell you. I saw this at work. I was at work, and I saw the spoilers because somebody tagged me in them. I kind of wish they wouldn't have, but that's okay. I'm not mad. I would have found out eventually anyway. But I saw that, and I go, I was jumping up and down for joy. Good thing we have rubber mats behind the counter at work, because I would have probably destroyed my legs jumping up and down the concrete floor. Man, I am just so happy, because War Games is one of my favorite match concepts and has been something long overdue that WWE's need to do. So it's great. I love it. I'm thrilled about it. So anyway, that's for that. So now we go on to the final piece of wrestling news. Bray may play Sister Abigail, make it his alter ego for a match against Finn at TLC. But why? Are you trying to make Bray quit? I mean, if this is true, this is stupid. Oh, he's going to debut a new outfit. He's going to do this. Have a woman play Sister Abigail. Sage Beckett put out something. I'm not saying have Paige do it. Fuck, have Bayley turn heel and be Sister Abigail. I mean, that's sweet merch money, yo, but guess what? I think they can make it work. They don't know what they're doing with Bray. It's like it's hard to believe he was WWE champion earlier this year. This is just stupid. If they decide to go this route, if they don't actually have a woman introduced and Bray has Bray's alter ego is playing Sister Abigail. This may make the House of Horrors match seem smart by comparison. So yeah, folks, okay, I want to thank you guys for listening to my rants. If you guys did not, pause it or skip past it, or skip past my political, based rants and my NFL based rants, I want to thank you guys anyway. I really appreciate it. So, what do you guys think of these topics? Do you agree? Do you disagree with what I said? Do you think that Bounty could actually soak up the water in Puerto Rico? That's a joke. Just a joke. Prayers for Puerto Rico. Prayers for Las Vegas. Y'all are in my thoughts, especially Twaffles777. Really cool person I talked to on Twitter. I've been able to talk to very sporadically since they're having a lot of power issues and a lot of issues over there in Puerto Rico. I hope that you and your children can get safely to any family that you have in another location. Anyway, so do you guys agree or disagree though? Like, share, comment, subscribe. My Twitter is in the description. It's been Real Honesty with John Ritlin. I'm John Ritlin. I will see you soon.